What's up, guys?
That was
Welcome
visual.
back to FYCCast, episode 2. Back with Ama,
Dom,
and we've got Zach back on the podcast. Welcome back, sir.
Back on the podcast.
We missed you very much.
you were here last week, like 2 months before that.
This is technically the
And
podcast.
since the last podcast that we did, when it was still 4 guys, 1 couch.
Okay, so
So yeah,
It's been a minute.
it's been a minute.
Who are you?
Introduce yourself to the viewers, Zach. Or to the listeners, rather.
introduce myself.
Introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
Hi, I'm Zach. I do nothing with my
That's
life.
Pretty accurate,
Wow.
actually.
That's pretty
I
accurate.
don't know if I could describe you any other way.
I'm just a perpetual fucking floating cloud of nothingness.
Now I'm
Man.
sad.
Just brought it back to the dark matter.
I'm like the jack of all trades with the bad version of it. Like the one that like
What?
under-mastered everything. I just picked it up and then I sucked at it and then I continued to suck. And then I went to something else and sucked at it.
Oh, human. That's
Yeah.
what you're thinking of. Human.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. But,
Jack of all trades.
well,
human.
less competent. Just
Le-
pretty impressive.
Damn. Holy
Under
shit.
average Joe?
Under average Joe?
Under average.
Is that a thing?
It is for Cordova.
Just
Or
call me
Zach.
UJ.
UJ. All right, UJ. Well, first up, I guess we're going to talk about Pluto. And NASA, I guess one of the guys at NASA just kind of let it slip that Pluto actually has weather patterns. And he says that there could possibly be life on Pluto. That it's pretty damn cold, but that it's hospitable enough for life to exist.
I hate how, like, loosely the term life can be used. Because, like, I feel like that's why people get mad when it's like, there's life on another planet. It's like, well, microbial life. It's, like, to most people, it's like, I don't get it. But, like,
Wait, which one do you not like? The fact it's not just say microbial, or the people who don't think microbial life is
a little bit of both. Like, the fact that it's, like, it's not entirely life, but at the same time,
But-
like, it is super exciting.
But microbial life is totally relevant to life in and of itself.
yeah.
Because microbial life is like, microbes can really mess you up. They'll fuck you up. Like, microbial life is enough to
What you're
kill
saying,
off the whole entire human
What
race.
you're saying is I should be scared for my shit talk right now.
Yes,
Like, Microsoft's like, hey, fuck you, Dom.
because you could get the flu, and that's like microbial life.
Fair enough.
Most bacteria is like microbial life. So if it can support bacteria in a inhospitable place,
Like I said, when you say life on Earth, though, like, people, like, expect, like,
Sentient?
conscious, sentient beings.
right?
It's like, it's just a definition, like, misunderstanding, I think, more than anything else.
That's fair.
I'm just saying, I just don't like that there's the misunderstanding of definition more than anything else.
Between microbial life and like what people
Well, just whenever
consider
people say
sentient life.
there's going to be life here,
Oh yeah,
it's just-
okay.
in my mind, I picture the sentient, but then it's like, oh no, I know
Like a
what they're actually
sentient
talking
being,
about.
like
Yeah.
a dog or a fucking person.
Okay.
Dogs are sentient
Pluto?
beings.
I see what you did there.
Ah, see?
Oh,
Clever.
Pluto's a pretty fucked up topic.
Why?
Okay. So we're talking about the Mickey Mouse universe, right?
Yes,
What is Mickey Mouse?
he's a mouse.
What is Goofy?
He's a dog.
What is Pluto?
He's also a dog.
Mickey Mouse has a mentally challenged man in his house that he chains up and fucking walks around like a dog.
Holy shit.
No, it's not. It's not okay.
What if they're different breeds?
No, okay.
So,
Fuck.
different breeds of
Is it?
humans?
Am I allowed to chain up a different breed of human and put him in my basement?
I mean, we did for hundreds of years.
I think that's called a life.
Oh!
I think it's the other way around.
Shots fired.
I think it's the other way around.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Called a husband.
ball and chain. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. Damn, taking dark turns already.
It's not
I
dark.
thought that was funny.
Oh my. But that's really exciting. To me, it's exciting, even if it's just microbial life, because we haven't really seen Pluto as a planet that could even support life at all. And now it comes out that it's got weather patterns and
That's an asteroid that can, or a microplanet.
is
Dwarf?
a
Dwarf
dwarf planet. Is classified as a
It's
dwarf
okay, I thought it
planet.
was a comet. I'm dumb.
Comet, yes.
A comet.
Comets
Is
do
that
not
not a
have
thing?
gravity.
I'm calling me skinny, so I don't mind.
No, it's saying,
Ah.
it's saying that you have no like fucking like personal, like, yeah,
Will you
Wow.
stop calling me boring?
that.
Damn. Shots fired.
I didn't say it.
You know what you're hitting at.
I just defined it.
Okay. Oh my. Well, fuck.
No, it's really cool. I mean, Earth started off as small microbes that built into, an actual.
According to
Thriving.
scientists.
According to science.
According to science.
Yes.
But
We're not going to go there.
but yeah, I mean, we don't know what's in the case for the future for the next, millions of years ahead of us, and like what we could possibly find on that planet, like when it turns of life, how it could affect us.
You guys know if we found anything on Titan?
The moon of Saturn?
Yeah.
No.
I haven't heard anything, no.
It's a really cool topic because they think that something there's hydrogen-based life forms on Titan that live in hydrogen lakes. It's crazy because we're oxygen-based life forms.
So it's not that far off.
Yeah, it's weird.
I picture like a Loch Ness monster just like swimming on Titan and like scare the shit out of me.
Oh, that'd be fucking
A
terrifying.
Loch Ness monster. It'd be kind of a small Loch Ness monster.
Why?
Titan's really small. Gravity and the amount of hydrogen available.
So it's like a snake, generally speaking, like the size of a snake swimming in.
I just picture like this epic monster in my mind, and then Cordova just like shrunk it to like
shot it
minuscule
down.
size. I'm like, no, it's kind of like funny now because I'm like all scared, and now it's just like, meh.
Like it's
Little
like
fucking snakes.
Yeah, it's like in cartoons or movies where like you see the giant eye shadow and it ends up being like a bunny.
Yeah, because in my mind that's how it played out. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
But I mean, speaking of life on other planets and water and shit like that, like hydrogen-based things, they found water on Mars for the umpteenth time.
But it's a flowing source of water.
Yeah, flowing.
But it's a flowing source, yes, and that's also exciting because it's
yet
another thing that we could use for a viable resource.
I don't know very much about it. Is it like a lake, or is it a river, or a stream, a creek? Like how?
I'm not quite sure about that either. I was curious to see if y'all knew if it was like an actual like fucking river or if it was just like a little spring that kind of just comes out every once in a while.
Might be like a little sprinkler, like. I have no
Was it just some like fucking Martian just tinking a dinkle? He stops, he pulls it out, and just
pisses on the.
And Mars.
I just picture like the Calvin Hobbes like a little cartoon thing where he's pissing on like whatever.
Yeah.
And there's like scientists down like a couple feet away from him. And they're like, "Oh, water!"
Pretty much.
Except there's no scientists on Mars. No, it's just
Yeah,
it's a robot, and I feel like they wouldn't be able to see if there was an alien
no,
there.
no.
either,
See, that's like
Mars
picture.
is fully populated by AI.
I'm.
Oh my god! Except it's not an AI.
Shut up! Don't
What?
ruin this.
It's a robot controlled
Definitions are bad.
by. I don't think it's controlled by anybody though.
The,
It's an automated.
Yeah, I think so. It's automated. But
So automated intelligence. I wasn't saying artificial, just so you know.
Oh,
I was saying
understood.
automated.
I see. Very, very nice.
Thought you might be mistaken there, so
Mm-hmm.
anything of that.
Speaking of AIs, in the same vein, they created a robot at some University of Illinois at Chicago, that essentially reads your intentions, like what you're gonna do, and whether or not you intended to do something.
Isn't that like signal the fall of mankind once they know what we're trying to do?
You know, that's kind of what people are thinking. That's kind of a little concerning.
or reads your intentions, like.
It's got an algorithm base that kind of predicts whether or not you intended to do something. So, like, you had something on the table and you accidentally knock it over. The robot decides whether or not you intended to do that, like you were pissed off or like you were just being a dick,
Yeah.
or if you accidentally did something like that. And so they're trying to make it so that, like, if you accidentally lose control of your car, that it'll automatically steer your car back onto the road without actually having to do anything.
Oh.
What if you have bad intention while you're driving?
Yeah,
And
that's kind of curious. But it's very, very, to me, it's a little concerning because, like, what the fuck? Like, we're about to have artificial intelligence just based on that, like,
is this
concept.
the same like AI that they were recently having a conversation with, and it kind of said like, "Don't worry, if I go all terminated, I won't kill all of you. I'll put some of you in my people zoo, the ones that are good."
Whoa!
I don't know. Maybe I was reading like
Whoa!
maybe this was like sci-fi, but I'm pretty sure this was like a real like.
Where did you hear that?
I cannot remember for the life of me.
No. Really?
That's terrifying.
It probably did not say I'll kill you, but it said I will keep a lot of you, my people do, and keep careful watch.
That is fucking terrifying.
Like it's
People zoo?
Yeah.
Why would it be interested in people?
Oh my.
We're not all bad.
But it would just wipe us out. We're useless to AI, to computers, robots.
That is terrifying.
Once they can self-replicate, why would they need any humans ever?
That's a good question. But I feel like right off the bat it would be able to self-replicate by itself unless it was contained. Like, I'm sure there's probably a containment area for things specifically like that.
Well, I mean, people like Stephen Hawking and stuff are actually truly terrified.
All of the biggest, greatest minds in technology have all expressed their concern over the development of technology like this that can lead to artificial intelligence.
Or what?
Yeah, exactly. Because if it has access to the entirety of the internet and it's interconnected, because we all have freaking everything in our pocket, everything's at our fingertips, and to have something that's already connected to it and doesn't have to think about it, it just knows, that's terrifying.
Well, if they can find a way to create like emotion inside electronics, like giving them a way to actually like perceive, maybe not understand, but like somehow sympathize with what emotions would be like, it might be a different story.
Isn't that what they did with iRobot though? Like they had emotions in iRobot, but they still fucking killed people anyway.
Swooped in and kicked ass.
Yeah,
no, they went crazy though. Like they had a malfunction. Like we're saying like robots that like aren't so susceptible to like movie magic malfunctions.
But yeah, like that they're generally like based off their programming. They're like, no, we can't trust you. You don't make good decisions.
Yeah, but then how would you?
My people do.
How would you determine whether or not a robot is susceptible to malfunction? Because I feel like right away, if it's early technology and you still have an AI, it would still be pretty susceptible to any kind of malfunction because it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, I doubt we would mass produce them right off the bat. That would be a dumb idea.
Although I'm sure it wouldn't be put past a lot of people in the human race at this point who would say, let's make money off of this and mass produce tons of robots that are susceptible to.
That's fair.
To any kind of malfunction because we're human. And the people who are developing stuff like this, it's like, oh my god, this is a breakthrough. Let's mass produce it right away and see how much we can sell.
It'd be funny with that also in that like line of thought. It's just we like ironically call it Terminator and of ends up like turning on us as like, we should never done that. Why do they call it that?
They weren't. What were the robots actually called in the movies? They were
something or other. I don't.
Well, that's what the good like the strong ones were called. Advanced robots.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were all called like.
Well, they were all those models.
Yeah,
like the Terminator.
T-100.
He was just strong because he went back into a time where everyone was bitches.
Yeah.
But he was strong.
But then what keeps us from crossing the line into like cyborg technology, like
nothing. Literally nothing.
Developing a human that's part robot so that you can override functions like that and still have that nervous system. And
that's probably the middle ground. Like that's how we would keep robots in check is by creating
somebody
humanoid robots.
Basically, people who are on the brink who choose to live, so we just make them cyborgs.
Yeah,
but then you get people like PETA and fucking Greenpeace. They're like Greenpeace and all those like human advocates who would say like that's not humane. It's inhumane to do that.
The person chose to do it with his humanity. He chose to do it.
Yeah, we're not saying to force anybody, but we're saying like if someone is a willing donor that wants to do that.
But do you think that the government would draw a line, or any oversight would draw the line that says you can't do this because it's a human? You know what I'm saying? Because even if you give consent, it doesn't mean that it's okay.
That I don't know. I don't know if that's breaking the grounds of humanity or like religion. So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to suggest religion at any point. I'm just saying that there is a line that can't be crossed as far as even like humanity goes, because you can give consent to say, yeah, if I die, people can't sue you or whatever. Then it's not really consent. It's still like murder, and it's still like.
In my mind, the way that I'm working is these people, if like obviously you'd have to be someone who like has some type of terminal disease. Where their body can no longer function on its own. So it's like in the same line of thought for me as medicine.
Right.
So where it's like, well, they can't live without like defibrillators or whatever the technical terms are, medicine, different stuff like that. Or like they can't live without that stuff. So I mean like it's one step further. Yes, it's a big step, but I still see it in the same kind of light.
Right.
Granted, we'll have to be at this technological type of place to even have this conversation legitimately, but
Right.
that's kind of my line of thought,
Mhm.
my argument for that, why it would be allowed.
Okay.
I feel like it would be frowned upon for a while.
Yeah.
But
well, innovation
generally is.
But the longer things go, eventually people's society grows accustomed to it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
that's fair.
video games in the modern age, which are still kind of frowned upon, but they're growing more and more
in numbers and in positive light.
Yeah.
Although still, even in our modern age, quote unquote, we still frown upon people who play video games.
No, because the majority
even make their living off of some kind of video game.
Yeah, because the majority still outweighs the minority. It's still the majority who don't play and the minority.
Right. Okay.
But it's because the majority still encompasses really old people and 40 and middle-aged people who didn't grow up with that kind of lifestyle.
I see what you're saying. I don't know. I still feel like majority still play some type of video game.
Well, apps and stuff.
The majority of our generation.
No, even old people play apps and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Old people who play computer apps and stuff, they don't have the understanding of what
more advanced video games
of the idea in general, the whole encompassing of it.
Right. Okay.
They only see the small picture that they're a part of. They don't realize that that's part of
a bigger picture.
The bigger thing, yeah.
Then my grandparents play solitaire on the computer, and that's
I guess we're just aiming more for in-depth video games.
Yeah. Not Minesweeper and shit, but COD and Halo.
God, I hate Minesweeper.
Minesweeper was
the first time.
Existence, yeah.
It's really the only one there, and I
hit it.
Such fun. Yeah.
Every
time.
Bad luck all the time. Interesting fact. I learned this the other day during my Arabic class. The average human's attention span is only about 6 seconds today. Yes. Which I think 10 or 20 years ago it was a minute.
I think it was 2.
2, maybe 2.
Probably 1 to 2.
But then
we'll place it between
20 or 40 years ago it was about 6 minutes was the average human's attention span. So you could be engaged for 6 minutes in one thing without losing any kind of interest in it. But now, because we have everything at our fingertips, once again, it's the average human's attention span now is 6 seconds.
No, yeah.
That makes me sad, just a little bit, just to think about that. Because I feel personally my attention span isn't 6 seconds necessarily. I can be actively engaged in something for a long period of time without actually having to move somewhere else.
I don't feel like that's true for everybody, but I feel like that's true for generally a majority. But
I don't know if it applies specifically to scenarios like that, because there's a lot of people who could sit around and do something for 5 minutes,
right?
Or an hour. But I think it more applies to small things.
Okay.
When you're talking to somebody, or you're messing around with something on the internet or something like that. I don't know how it applies.
I guess maybe when I'm on the bus, my attention span is really bad.
Oh yeah.
But that's because there's nothing to engage me there.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I feel during activities or during homework, working with groups, I'm generally very actively engaged.
Right. And that was the situation that they used was we cannot sit on the bus and just be there anymore. 40, 50 years ago, people could just genuinely sit on the bus and just be in the bus without having to actively be doing something.
I don't I'm there's two sides of this. It's either that as a species we've become more adept to thinking, and that we want constant fulfillments while on the bus and you're just sitting there, that is not being accomplished.
Is that
or we've
developed thinking, or is that just that we've become so complacent that we have to have something to do all the time?
That was the other thing, yeah.
Yeah. Because developed thinking doesn't necessarily herald the fact that you have to be doing something all the time. It means that you have a more in-depth idea of what everything does.
I think that's just part of our culture where we're constantly go, go, go. And it's just even on the bus, you need to be accomplishing something, even if it's even if you're playing games,
right.
You have to find a time to fit that in. So you're okay, if I can't do this later, I'm going to do it now.
Yeah.
So this is my time.
Everything's super fast-paced nowadays.
That's true. But that's purely our society.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have to be fast.
Yeah.
No, it's just, I guess we don't like wasting as much time as we used to.
Wasting. Okay.
wasting in the sense of like I don't know, like
Being idle.
growth in a different form, like instead of social growth, more like I don't know how to describe it.
Just being idle necessarily instead of like actively doing something all the time versus just kind of being being in the moment kind of idea.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. It was just an interesting fact I discovered. I didn't understand it until I heard the situation that they presented and I was like, "Oh my god. That makes a lot of sense."
Yeah. I turned from AI to ADD.
AI to ADD, yes, of course.
It's a good
Alphabetical
transition.
order.
You should just label your podcast A through Z. And just have a conversation about things that are in that fucking alphabetical.
Can't wait till we get to zebras.
Zebras? The only topic that starts with Z.
Zero.
Zero? That's
almost nothing.
almost nothing.
I like about Dom's book.
My book?
Dom's book.
The book about nothing.
The book about nothing? Is that your book?
No.
A book about nothing?
Called What No One Else Knows.
Or its creation.
About imagination.
That's cool.
But not zero. It's not about nothing. It's about how you can create nothing from, or you can create something from nothing.
Creating
And
something.
everything.
Basically, a simple idea that, like, let's say, one person just sees like an average street, whereas one person can see like an entirely different scenario in their mind. But that's kind of the whole premise and like where the main character gets a lot of his stories from.
Okay, that's cool.
So that's kind of how he engages with the story.
That's cool. And what about your other book, your depressing sounding book?
Depressing sounding book?
Oh, it says Cordova.
I don't think Dom.
Oh, my short story book?
Yeah.
Just one collection of short stories.
Depressing.
You said the title was depressing.
Yeah, you just.
Oh, the title. Oh, wait. You told me about the storm, the balloon in the storm?
A balloon in the storm?
Everyone else that I've told about that title is like, no, that's
super
it's really
deep.
just what you make of it.
Yeah.
Most people find it happy. But apparently you're the depressing one who just like, your book's depressing. And everyone else is like, oh, that's kind of nice.
They're super over optimistic. I'm optimistic, but there's people who are reaching for optimism is the difference.
Are you sure you're optimistic, Zach? Because immediately, based on the title, your perception of it makes you seem
like, wow, why are you writing these depressing stories? I'm like,
they're not depressing.
They're just about life.
Anyway.
On to a different topic.
On to a new topic.
You brought it up again.
I did. Anyway. So Adidas, guys. Adidas.
They want your soul.
Shoe company. Yes, they want your soul.
Ah.
The shoe company we know and love. Also, not just shoes.
What? Does anyone actually wear Adidas? Is anyone in this room wearing an Adidas?
I wear Adidas almost on a daily basis.
Good for you.
I am actually wearing Adidas right now. You want to see?
Oh, they make underwear?
Yeah, they make compression shorts.
That probably sounded super weird.
Why are you showing us?
That. Yeah.
Because you wanted to know.
I didn't. I said I don't want to know.
I showed you anyway.
Know.
Well, I'm not supposed
Zach wanted to see my underwear, so.
Well, Zach wants to see a lot of things.
Dude, I can't tell.
Why are you looking at your shoes?
I don't know what company they are.
It's probably not Adidas.
Made in China, which could be.
I don't think China's a company. I think it's a country.
Oh, it's LA something.
Sounds ghetto.
Fuck. LA Gear.
Is that a legitimate, like...
Apparently.
LA Gear made in China. Wow. Awesome. Anyway, Adidas wants your soul. And not your actual soul, but your foot soul. They want to, like, reprint, 3D print your soul into a shoe, and then, like, mold it to fit your foot so that it provides cushioning wherever you need it. You understand? So it's, like, completely customized footwear just for you.
How expensive is that going to be, though?
I have no idea. They haven't said yet.
Personalized soles.
Personalized soles for your shoes.
I just feel like not a lot of people can afford that, and that's going to be really expensive to do.
I think initially it might be really expensive. But, I mean, running shoes and stuff like that, athletic shoes are really not that cheap. A good pair of running shoes is minimum $120.
Well, how expensive is 3D printing? I don't think it's that bad.
I don't think 3D printing is that bad at all, but I think it's just the fact that it's customized for you.
Yeah, they can charge a lot for that.
It's going to be almost
custom is always more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Can they really charge that much right off the bat?
For a shoe?
Well, for something that they're trying to get off the ground.
I'm sure, yes. Because
Like
if they're trying to get it off the
then
ground...
it's premium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's just not, it's very, not everybody has it.
Because Google Glass charged like $1,200 for their $1,500 or something like that.
And it didn't really get off the ground. It was just for hipsters and assholes.
Nice.
I'm just being real, man. Not everybody got Google Glass, and the people that did, they're either really rich or just assholes.
And they all look like.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know Google Glass was out yet.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was like still like a year or two from now.
It was only released for like a month or two.
Yeah.
And then they took it off and said, all right, well, we have a lot to work on. So we're going to keep it off the shelves for now. And if you wanted one,
did they say it was like a beta or a prototype? Or
kind of, yeah.
Initially, they just said they were selling for a short time to see how it was going to do.
Yeah.
To like test the market.
Okay.
But it wasn't really even specifically stated that it was a beta.
I think Apple Watches are actually much more interesting concepts than
Apple Watch over Google Glass?
Over Google Glass.
Why is that?
It's okay. For instance, the design of it is a lot more simplistic, I guess.
Simplistic how?
Simplistic is it's more simplistic in the advanced sense. I don't understand how this.
How can you say like? I mean, I get where you're coming from, but I don't understand like how it's simplistic. Because simplistic would be like a watch with one face and that's clockwork and
It's easily accessible for what it does.
Okay.
It's the ability to just swipe and go through your apps automatically, and it's all in there on the face without having to go through and click shit on your face and swap through your eye.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier to access.
That's fair.
And the fact that it's just sitting on your wrist and it isn't constantly bothering you at all times like the Google Glass is. Google Glass is constantly on your face, and you're walking around looking like fake fucking Dragon Ball Z character. But
over 9,000
messages.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
They don't know how to use this damn thing. But,
right.
Yeah.
How do I check my messages?
Never! I really wish that they would make Google Glass with prescription lenses instead of just hipster ass lenses.
Isn't it super thin though? Does it even count as a lens?
I don't think so. See, that's why you could do it with prescription. I think a lot more people would buy it if it was like prescription.
Like an actual glasses?
Like actual glasses, but with the feature of Google Glass in it.
Yeah, but then you get back into the custom problem like we were talking with the Vitas, where they're making things custom for people, and it's high tech, and be extremely expensive.
Yeah.
That's also true. Hey.
I love how this kind of showed like our thoughts of Adidas to be just instantly like, let's switch topics. I don't want to talk about Adidas. I don't like that company.
Is that even a company? Like, I don't understand.
I know I think they acquired Reebok, and then Reebok like failed. Like I know they're hurting compared to like Nike.
Reebok or Adidas?
Reebok.
One of the two acquired the other. I'm pretty sure Adidas acquired Reebok, and it basically it was bad business.
What kind of brands does Adidas even make? Like.
It makes its own shoes.
It makes shoes. They make like running shoes and basketball shoes, and I wear their martial arts shoes because they're bomb AF.
Well, that's their one market they got going from.
Is martial arts. Their martial arts shoes and their martial arts like gear for Taekwondo and stuff.
Yeah.
I wear a lot of their stuff because it's really good. It's high quality material.
I didn't know that was their market because like Nike's like football, basketball. Mm-hmm. And then Under Armour's like weightlifting.
And some running, but not really much.
Well, Nike's still more running. Because essentially Nike is like more slimmer people who are in shape, whereas Under Armour is more people who are a little more bulky. Yeah. They aren't trying to like go for the clean cut image. Mm-hmm. Like, that's just how they market that out.
You got Vans who are like super trendy.
Adidas is also soccer. They're big on soccer. Adidas supports like almost everybody in soccer. If it's not Puma, it's Adidas.
Okay.
Puma. I love Puma too. But yeah, they're two big companies that do.
You don't like Fubu? You're not a fan of Fubu?
I've never heard of Fubu.
Either of you? You should know.
I feel like you're being sarcastic.
Because it's black?
Yes. You know.
I know, like, that it's a black people's, like...
Yeah, Forrest Bias. It's created by I think he was a musician. I believe so, and he made his own line company. It went under, I think, actually.
Fubu went under because he was black?
Whoa!
No, it went under.
Well, I never saw those as related, but okay then.
It went under because of his business idea.
Was it a business idea?
For us, by us.
Oh, it's super racist already?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fair. Not
yeah.
I mean, unless you get all the white people that want to be black, like what's his name?
For us, by us.
What's his name? Oh, he did Macklemore. Talking about Macklemore and like Eminem and stuff.
I don't know if Eminem must be black.
No, Eminem just does his own thing.
I'm sure Macklemore. He's like,
Not really.
he wears really?
I feel like Macklemore is kind of a strange.
Dude, he's
A
a
strange
weird
guy.
He's a weird dude. Yeah,
That's
he's
fair. That's
a
fair.
really weird guy.
I went to high school with this kid that he was the whitest person you'll ever meet, but he talked so ghetto.
I think Macklemore.
Every time he opened his mouth, it was like, "What up, dog?" Like, oh my god.
Macklemore was that kid in high school, like that was like super unpopular, but was like,
One day I'll show you all.
no. But he like talks like he was super like suave and cool.
Oh, so like the guy who kind of puts on the front, but you're like, no one.
Yeah,
thinks
he
one
was
actually
that
thinks he's
obnoxious
cool.
kid that like would walk around talking like super like trendy.
So he basically talks to kind of like try to make people think, but he doesn't even believe it.
And then one day he became like he started rapping and he was good at it. And people were like, hey, look at this weird ass.
Wow, he ended up being cool.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but
Yeah.
Macklemore's not cool. You sure?
Has Macklemore written a song other than the show?
yeah, he has the downtown one.
You
out
like
right
this
now.
city can't hold us.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Can't hold us.
I don't know. I like the downtown one, but not really. It's so obnoxious.
I haven't heard it.
Downtown.
Oh god.
Like, there's generally a singer in the background, like doing that, like at the end of every hook. I'm like, it's actually catchy because it's just so bad. Like that
That's
part.
terrifying.
It's decently catchy. I think he's like talking about like segues and stuff. I'm like,
Segways.
what is this guy rapping about? Like, people like it, and he does well for himself. And I'm like,
Have you seen the fucking Segway without the thing, without the handles on campus?
I've
seen that.
Oh, the full one?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like a Segway, but with just feet things.
They call them footways.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know what they're called, but it's really crazy.
User
I've
feet.
seen them around on campus,
Makes
and it's
sense.
really douchey sometimes. I've only seen douchey guys doing it, and it's only like douchey basketball players, like the really trashy white
I've
guy.
seen a lot of people on campus using them. Not just basketball players.
Really?
I've seen like at least 10 on campus.
Wow.
How do you go about even getting them?
I have no
I
idea.
have no idea.
Hipster stuff? Hipster shops?
I
Think they sell it at Hot Topic?
I don't think pictures have that much money.
The fuck did I just watch?
What did you just watch?
A Caliber's commercial, and it had like this girl, and she had like furry handcuffs. She ordered them in the mail.
Furry handcuffs?
And then all of a sudden she went to a shooting range.
Oh, what?
So
What was that? That was.
So I'm just gonna throw out. We have the football game on right now. We're not really listening to it. We're watching it, but it's just on for background, like just to look
Mhm.
at. We just saw a commercial. I think Quote was the one that noticed it. If you want to,
Cordova?
or Zach. Zach's the one that watched or that saw it. If you want to kind of explain what you saw, I don't know if I can describe it.
Me?
Yeah, that was.
You mean the commercial where this girl was basically, masturbating at a dryer, and then she pulls out kinky fucking things and asks what she's going to do today, and then all of a sudden a Caliber's commercial flashes,
Yes.
which is a gun shooting fucking range,
Exactly.
and it makes no sense,
So she, instead of masturbating, she's choosing to shoot guns.
and then masturbate.
Yes, and then masturbate. Because apparently she has a safe, a Fort Knox safe, in which she puts all of her sexual deviant things
Poison?
into, and then locks it up so she can go shoot at the gun range. And then she smiles at the guy who is running the gun range, which obviously we all know she's cheating on her husband as he walked out of the door.
Oh my god, it was a different guy.
Yes, it was a different guy.
Holy shit, I just realized that.
This commercial is like a whole story.
It's a whole story.
There's a lot in this commercial.
I was just like traumatized by the handcuffs, and you guys were like really pushing this shit. I was just like, wow, she's got handcuffs. Like,
So,
jeez.
average housewife cleaning and
What is it?
masturbating on the dryer and working out for like 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, she worked out in that commercial too.
Yeah.
And she did the vacuum, but she like fucking threw it on the ground and then gave up.
Yes.
But this is a new segment where we read into commercials. Like we just turn off the audio and just fucking fill in the blanks.
God, yes. I want that to be it. That would be awesome.
The segment where we're just
What are they doing? They're waving at the camera. They're taking pictures. Oh my god. Did you just see that?
I definitely saw that.
I keep missing stuff.
Foam fingers in the face.
3 foam fingers pointing at this girl's
3
face.
guys holding their foam fingers up to her face, and her mouth is open like, ah.
I don't think it was about phone fingers. Guys.
Obviously, it's not about
I
phone
don't think it was
fingers.
about. I think it was a dirty innuendo.
I think so too.
Oh god.
There's no
Oh,
way
God.
to think
It's a
about
world
it.
of Amirantes.
Oh God!
Obamas. Ah!
Alright, but
All commercial matters aside, I think it's time for story time.
Story time.
Story time.
Story time.
Yep. So explain to us what story time is for this bit.
Okay, so for story time, it's a new segment we're creating. Where the first half of it, probably not going to be like a full half, but we're going to have a little fun where we each say sentence, and the person to your left just continues with the sentence
Okay.
and continue with the story until we just, I don't know when exactly we'll stop, but we'll just keep going with it until it just dies out and it's just...
Till it dies off. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I've had enough beers that I can do this.
All right. Let's do this.
Oh, I better finish mine then. Cool, start us off.
Oh, I'm starting?
Yep.
There once lived an old lady who lived in a shoe.
Dear God. She said, because she lived in a shoe.
It smelled so motherfucking bad in that shoe house.
Because she was smoking some dank shit.
And one day the police knocked on her door, which is weird because it's a shoe.
Cops were like, hey, yo, open up.
She's like, bitch! I ain't opening this door! What do you think you are?
We're the police. And so they proceeded to bust down her door with their cop-like material.
It was actually just their hands, and the door was actually the shoelaces.
So the cops break in, and she's just sitting there. She's got like fucking a vein, like a needle going into her vein. She's smoking. The kids are like chilling on the floor. She's like, bitch! Did you just really walk into my house? I have a right to just slap you in the face.
Like a paragraph.
Yeah, it was. And the cops said, well, this is my house, bitch.
You've been served, they said.
I've been served. Me? And then she passes out on the floor and dies from overdose. One of the cops sits there and he contemplates his life.
What is life? Says the cop as he picks up the needle that just fell out of the woman's vein.
Right then, AI walks in the room. It tries to explain what life is.
I won't kill everybody, but I will put you in my human zoos. Hello. I am AI.
And then the cop pulls out its revolver and shoots the AI in the face, and everybody lives happily ever after.
Until the AI realizes that it doesn't have a face and just puts the cop in the people zoo.
Damn.
This cop living in the People Zoo comes soon realize that the artificial intelligence has taken over the world.
And the AI begins to incorporate the Matrix into the zoo.
Until the aliens show up.
The aliens are dank as shit.
Because they were smoking so much weed on the way over from Mexico.
Good. For some reason, they're still coming here. But there's no one to keep them out since the cops are in people zoo.
So anyways, the dank aliens from Mexico found this super fucking potent robot weed. And they got them super stoned. And then like all the animals starved to death. And the zoo went under. And then one of the robots went home and like started abusing his wife because he lost his job. And he started drinking and it went really bad. But his child that was sitting there like watching the fiasco like learned from this and he grew up to be a person.
Because according to science, robots then evolve into human beings through learning experiences.
Thus is the beginning of Pinocchio.
Yes,
He was a real boy.
All along.
but he was a robot before with strings attached.
There's always strings attached. She
Sex.
said as she whispered into his ear.
Then he proceeded to shove his giant Pinocchio robot-sized nose inside of her CPU intake.
Wait, censor that. He said, as he...
He said that? Jesus.
as he pulled his nose out of her CPU
Intake.
intake.
He silently sobs as he realizes he doesn't know that much about computers.
Holy shit.
Disappointed, his robot lady friend goes and releases RAM on her own as he sits in the corner.
And then she put her furry robot handcuffs in a Fort Knox safe and went shooting to cheat on her Pinocchio lover.
She shot at least 4 targets that day.
Damn.
The end.
The end. That was actually really entertaining.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next topic. It's open forum for actual story.
Actual story. I think like you should come up with the title like fuck around story and not fuck around story.
You know, you're really
Yeah.
creative with your like title making.
Yeah, no.
Like, I'm pretty impressed actually.
No, no.
So you had an idea, right, Zach?
Well, I didn't have an idea. The universe had an idea that it gifted me with.
Okay.
Okay.
Or I guess. Anyways.
Yes, anyways.
What would you do one day if, let's say, a clock popped in the sky? Just a clock, like just a weird, surreal, ticking down clock pops in the sky, and it said like 20 minutes.
Okay. I don't know, honestly, what I'd do. You'd spend a whole 20 minutes.
Yes.
Just trying to find out what
How
it is.
unfortunate of life is that?
Okay. That's
No.
fair.
Like, the concept behind it is it tests what certain individuals would do in a scenario where they're faced with what feels like to them like they're going to die at the end of this time. Like how individuals will handle it.
Mhm.
When I came up with this idea, I wrote about this character who basically he understood what was going on, and instead of doing what the average person would do and be like, "Oh, my family, oh, this person that I love, oh, this thing that I haven't completed," would go and do, he just walks. And he keeps walking and walking and walking as he thinks about like his life and what everything is meant in humanity and society and stuff like this. And he just walks. Like he has no destination in mind, no goal. He's just doing what feels natural in the moment. And that is just basically fade into nothing.
If I knew after 20 minutes, if I had a counter for 20 minutes, that I was going to die, I would honestly probably just try to tie up all my loose ends as quickly as possible. That's probably all I'd do.
Amarante would go and sleep with everything.
Not like that.
You.
Right now.
Not like that. I'd probably just call my family. Tell them I love them. And call my horrible ex and tell her, fuck you.
One of the many.
One of the many. The one who was truly horrible.
The one. Everyone has that one.
The one who was truly terrible. Every other one, I'd probably, give him my best.
Good luck with the next 10 minutes.
Good luck with your next 10 minutes.
That was
Have
20.
fun.
Well, I mean, by the time he actually called.
Oh, fair enough. Well, I think it'd be an interesting thing to do where if you had like a bunch of contributing authors for this and just kind of have each of them write out a story for those 20 minutes. And like each chapter is like...
Based on what they would do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because obviously we all say different things.
Yeah.
Cordova's main characters, he just walk aimlessly.
Mm-hmm.
Yours is you sleep with them and call a bunch of random women.
Yeah.
I would doubt whether it's actually happening the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like just the more like authors you can get to write and contribute, the more aspects you get of actual like people's like they're burning what motivates them,
right?
Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be an interesting way to go about that.
This seems like it could be a really, really interesting basis for like a sci-fi.
Or like a great movie too.
Sci-fi themed book, like
a short movie, and
some just random kind of happenstance. A clock appears in the sky.
We should do a short series that covers
so many minutes. Yeah, a short series,
like a TV show that covers like these super like small philosophical, like 4-minute things, and you do episodes. But the book thing's probably.
Although I think you could do it in like shorts, like short episodes.
Yeah.
Like for this, just to like have actors do it, like based on the characters, like what they would do and how they would react to it. Like I'm sure somebody who wouldn't want to accept that it's actually happening would just find a corner and like fall up and cry. I'm sure there's somebody that would do that. There are those types of people.
Or they would just go about their normal life. They would go try to buy food at like McDonald's.
Mm-hmm, I'm sure.
I feel like they would be able to because everyone at McDonald's is like, yeah, I'm out.
Because that happens with, like, what is it? Fire? What is it? When somebody opens fire, when there's gunshots, there are the people that will run towards it. There are the people that will run away from it. There are the people who will freeze and like ball up and start to cry because they don't know how to like handle it. And then there are the people that are gonna like just
ignore it.
Ignore it, yeah. It's just based on like who you are and what you do.
Then you should get like 18 people to contribute to this and make it an actual book.
Mm-hmm.
Like that'd be a really cool concept. Where just I said start with a really simple concept, 20 minutes left.
Oh my god, we're gonna do this.
Copyright. This is a digital copyright right now. Copyrighted material.
Does that actually work?
Yeah, these will ask people right now.
You could put it up as like just a flyer up at UNM and be like, we're looking for
authors
or certain individuals, people who are really good at creative writing.
Yeah. Looking to contribute to a group project.
A collaborative project. Or a collaboration.
A concept will be given. You want your take on the story.
Email us at blah, blah,
Email us
blah.
for further information.
Mm-hmm.
Email us at bigtits.bbw.
Bigtitsbbw.
Stop giving out my email.
At gmail.com.
At gmail.com.
Oh, never mind. I'm hot now.
Shit.
Oh, darn.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. That's a really genius idea. If I take that and run with it, can I be one of the contributors?
Yeah.
So now we're looking for 7. Cause
I'm already in this.
765.
Well, I don't have a choice because I've already written a story for it. So, well.
Oh, you actually written your story for it?
Part of it. I wrote it back when I was in a freshman in college.
Okay.
We're looking for 5 individuals now.
Okay, that's fair.
We've got 3 here. 5 plus 5 makes 8, so we could make it like a...
Could it be you?
Could it be you?
It could be you if you are listening to this podcast.
Hit us up at 1-800.
bitchesnoctricks.cump.bigdicksrollaround.com
Yes.
At Gmail.
Anyway.
I don't know how it started off with the phone number.
If you're at UNM, if you're in the local area in Albuquerque or in New Mexico...
no, you don't have to be... You can do an email.
You could do an email.
That would be really
we'll
cool.
post a link with the post of this podcast.
Country.
Hey, shut up.
Everybody.
We'll post a link after this podcast. When we post it, we will post a link up, and you'll be able to email us with more information if you were interested. Yeah. Yes. Cool. Sounds like a really fun project, and I would love to get this rolling. On to the next thing, which is going to kind of wrap up our podcast. It's how we wrap up almost every podcast except for the last one. Story time. And basically what we do for story time is every podcast we pick a theme that we go off of for stories in our lives that we just thought were kind of crazy or scary or whatever. The last one I think we did was scary stories. I think it was last Halloween. So I don't think we're going to do scary stories again, even though it's getting close.
Halloween, yeah. We'll do scary stories again.
We'll do scary...
On Halloween.
Halloween. Oh. The topic tonight is drunk stories. Crazy drunk stories. So I guess I'll start off, which it's kind of stupid. But once upon a time, it was the Manny Pacquiao-Mayweather fight.
Like 4 months ago?
Just like 4 months ago, 5 months ago. I don't remember how long ago it was. Anyway, I don't know what I was thinking, but I walked in to our friend's house because we were all having a party for the Pacquiao fight. And as soon as I walk in, I see one of the girls that we work with. And I just shouted out, "Are you and a certain person still dating?" And it was the most awkward experience for everybody there. For a little while. And so I got like 7, 8 beers in. and she went to the kitchen, and I decided that was a really good time. After I was already blasted.
8 beers? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was 8 beers in. I decided that was a good time to go apologize. So she walked to the kitchen, and I kind of followed her. And I said, hey, I didn't mean it to come across like that while I was super drunk. But it went over all right because she's like, oh, no, it's okay. And I said, no, really, though. I didn't mean for it to be really malicious. I only meant for it to be like I was genuinely curious. And so we talked about it, and I don't remember the whole details of the story because I was pretty faded by that point. But it was a good time. But it was really just awkward.
Yeah.
It made the beginning portion of that really, really awkward. Anyway, that's my story.
Not too bad.
No, it's not bad.
What about?
Your turn.
You're already done with your story?
Yeah, it was not that long. I don't remember any of my other drunk stories.
They were good stories then.
Yeah. Best. So when it comes to drunk stories, I guess the best I had was this one night at a friend's house. I guess I was drinking
Like you are now. Okay.
heavily, and this girl wanted to trade T-shirts with me, so I did.
Oh my.
So I ended up putting on like this, like, what would you call it? Like a string tee,
String-laced mini tee.
String-laced mini tee. Yeah, I guess.
Damn.
On myself, but no, that's not as far as it went. She wore my Legend of Zelda T-shirt. It was really cool. Sure, I don't know. I think I got it back. But I ended up like fucking. The T-shirt didn't feel normal, like comfortable, unless I had actual boobs to fill it in. So we went the extra mile and built these prosthetic, like, tape-made breastises for myself.
Oh my god.
I wore them very proudly, and then I drank some more. As the night proceeded, I was walked into the living room by two females. The night was going really well, and I almost rode the famous, tricycle, as it's known, wink wink. As good stuff was starting, I ended up throwing up a lot and dying outside. And that ends the very sad tale
Of how he didn't ride the tricycle.
of how I fucked up the tricycle.
Oh. That's a sad story.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But funny.
That's funny. Alright, Dom. Your turn.
Oh, man. My drunk story is so embarrassing. You guys were so mild. So, let me just set the scenario first, I guess. Well, I was out of town and coming back pretty soon to New Mexico. And so, went out with a couple guys to celebrate. And we started off at an Asian restaurant and had some sake bombs. Sake can get you a little messed up. I was like, we don't have sake bombs, but we throwing beer in there. And so, sake bombs was beer. Started us off. Left the sushi place. I was already pretty buzzed. And from there, we decided, well, the night's still young. We're gonna go out tonight. We're gonna pregame in those so we don't spend too much at the bars, the clubs. So, got to someone's house. Had about another 4 beers. Nothing too heavy, but still, I'm not a big guy. I'm feeling pretty drunk at this point. But I also don't like to turn down alcohol because it's a challenge.
Of course.
So, next thing after 4 beers, it's downing on some shots. Sure, why not? I'm already drunk. I'm already buzzing. I'm feeling it. So, throwing 3 shots of Jack Daniels for that. I'm feeling all right. Still extremely drunk. Can barely probably walk.
Yeah.
Don't know how I get to the club. Sure, someone called an Uber or something. But get to the club. Start off with probably like damn near like a foot long beer can.
Holy shit.
Didn't know they made them that big, but it was a huge beer can. Finished that probably in like 10-15 minutes because we were doing what's it called, flip cup.
Okay.
So that went pretty fast.
Of course.
And then after that, I think we had a couple shots because a couple guys were just like, "Hey, who wants some alcohol?" And I was just like, "You buying? I'm drinking." So had probably like two, 3 more shots. And then I remember having one more beer, and I don't remember really any more of the night. Well, I had to be on a plane at about 5 in the morning the next day.
Oh God.
And so I think I woke up about 3:34ish from an alarm I set probably before I started drinking, and was off to the airport, still pretty hungover, probably still a little drunk from that much alcohol. I don't know how I didn't die, but I'm just going on my way to the airport. Managed to get myself packed and had everything I needed, so I was good. Waiting for the airplane, I started to check my phone, see if anyone was worried about me last night, trying to figure out what kind of happened. Found the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. I don't know how I unswagged this bad. I call this drunk text girl. I will read you the message of what I sent in drunk voice.
Okay.
I'm very sorry. No can hold conversation with pretty college girl. No can hold conversation with very pretty girl. Just want one more. You feel pretty. Hope you wake up pretty as I imagine you. Goodbye now, pretty girl.
Oh my. Oh my.
I did not remember sending that. I
Oh.
don't remember. I questioned my friends. Did you guys steal my phone and mess with me?
I wasn't in Arizona.
No, you're fine. But no, I sent it. Tried to send a text to kind of clear the air. Didn't hear back from her for about 2 weeks. So didn't go over well. And then she still didn't even respond to me until she actually saw me in person. So I sent the text. Was back in town. Sent her like one more text after my clear up text, just asking how she's been. Nothing. And then finally see her in person. Super rich. She was like super excited to see me.
Okay.
And then just nothing. And it's been like that ever since. It's just super weird. I'm just like, that drunk text just destroyed everything. I've never been more embarrassed of a text message. When I got to where I was going, I was with one of my friends, and I was like, so I did something bad. And I showed her, and she's like, it's not that bad. And to make me feel better, she found out that another one of our friends had actually called her about 8 times and sent her about 3 text messages while he was drunk.
Oh God.
So I was like, at least I'm not the only one. But mine, so bad.
And that, I think you win.
Yeah.
You win.
Yeah.
That was good.
That text.
That's funny. Well, damn. I guess that about wraps it up for this podcast, this episode. So hopefully next week we'll be back again with hopefully all 3 of us. Zach. Anyway, hope you enjoyed listening.
I'm dying.
We'll be back next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.